Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the SplashCast special. This is one half of the dynamic duo. I'm Reggie. I will be previewing the Atlanta Falcons versus Kansas City Chiefs game this week. Week 3 of the NFL season started on Thursday. A lot going on. Big game for the Falcons. Big game. Fresh off a win against the last second win where we snatched victory from defeat or victory from the Eagles and handed them that L and basically saving the season. Still a lot to improve from in that game. Kirk Cousins looked good on the last drive of the first half and the last couple drives of the game. The defense looks stellar as always. They are probably our best unit right now. Zach Robinson's play calling got a little bit better towards the end of the game. We could incorporate some of that play action pass. And Algier finally got some touches other than just 2 rushes for 15 yards or whatever. Got Kyle Pitts involved and Drake London involved later, along with Darnell Mooney, our speedster. So big game coming up this week. We're going to preview a few topics today. We're going to talk about basically the Atlanta Falcons keys to win. We're going to talk about offense, defense, and as well as coaching. Again, welcome. As always, remember, like, follow, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Like I said, so we play our second primetime game in a row, which is very surprising. But I think everybody is kind of drinking the Kool-Aid of the Atlanta Falcons, especially after beating the Eagles. So, of course, you have Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons against Patrick Mahomes, Jordan and Cleats, as some folks in ESPN and podcast world call him, the best quarterback in the league, the quarterback to have the best start to a career, probably of all time. Patrick Mahomes is undoubtedly the best player in the league and probably will be for the foreseeable future. With that being said, football is a game of matchups, and you can't ignore the fact that the Chiefs are a little hurt. They come in with a few injuries. The Chiefs have Isaiah Pacheco, who is their leading rusher. I think he was leading the Chiefs with he had 135 yards rushing. They kind of do by committee, but saying they do it by committee, they're missing Pacheco. They're missing Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They just signed. Who did they just sign? Hunt, Kareem Hunt. They signed him back to the team, but he's inactive. So you'll have Carson Steele and Samaje Perine will be your running backs for the Chiefs, as well as they're already missing Hollywood Brown as well. So it is a makeshift team when it comes to the Chiefs, but again, it really doesn't matter because you have Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, and that secondary who can make up for any loss. The Chiefs are probably the one team that it doesn't really matter who the players are. They can out-scheme you. They're getting very, very close to the Josh McDaniel, Tom Brady-led Patriots, where if you remember, Tom Brady was basically plugging and playing. I think they had Troy Brown win and Deion Branch win MVP, and Troy Brown was playing cornerback and all of those things, and they still found ways to win with Tom Brady. So I think the Chiefs are entering that era. Starting wide receivers, of course, Rashee Rice, the rookie that runs blazing speed, Xavier Worthy, along with Justin Watson, Mecole Hardman, and Juju Smith-Schuster to round out that wide receiver core. Sky Moore as well. But when it comes to the Falcons, when it comes to the Chiefs, the first thing we're going to look at is Patrick Mahomes versus Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins got off to a rocky start against the Steelers. You can't really blame him, but you can. I think that loss was more on the offensive coordinator Zach Robinson. It was pretty predictable what we were doing. Obviously, play action pass is going to be a huge part of this offense, and when you take it away, Kirk Cousins just couldn't move. He definitely got some more confidence in his Achilles, his repaired Achilles, in the second game against the Eagles, especially in the second half when you really had to kind of like do or die. But for now, hopefully, that was not an anomaly, and that was the way that they were trending in terms of offense. Kirk Cousins has 396 yards passing. His completion percentage is 65.5%, averaging 7.2 yards per pass. Again, this is kind of difficult to really catch a gauge of where we are because that first game we only scored 10 points and it was so bad. And really, for a game and a half, because the first half we really didn't do much against the Eagles. So hopefully this is just a breakout. Of course, the long is 41 yards thrown to Mooney. 3 TDs, 2 interceptions, one against the Eagles, one against the Steelers, I believe. And then, of course, 3 sacks, 2 coming from TJ Watt. So whatever. We actually played a lot better. Of course, and then there's, what do we say? Mama, there goes that man. Patrick Mahomes at 442 yards, at 71% completion percentage, 3 TDs, 3 INTs, 4 sacks. What does that tell you? I think they're like 17 and 21, 21 and 23 when it comes to passing and through the first 2 weeks. You have to give the edge to Patrick Mahomes because, again, fresh off the win against the Bengals where they come back and he leads them to a game-winning drive. In this game, if you don't put Patrick Mahomes away quickly, and when I say quickly, if you don't get at least a 2-possession lead going into the fourth quarter or going into the latter half of the fourth quarter, you either have to have the ball to win the game or you have to be up by at least two scores. Otherwise, nothing is safe. And Patrick Mahomes can come right down the field and kick a field goal, score a touchdown, do whatever you need to do. Both teams have incredible kickers. Of course, we have Younghoe Koo, and they have Harrison Butker. He's 4'5". Younghoe Koo is 4'4". So either one of these teams could come back and win the game on a game-winning field goal. I'm going to give this, of course, you have to give the edge to Patrick Mahomes when it comes to quarterback play. Kirk Cousins is serviceable. He's good. He can play within the scheme. But when it comes to just raw talent and the edge, you got to give it to Patrick Mahomes. Key matchup here. We're going to start out with the defense. The Kansas City offense versus the Atlanta defense. Now, we talked about them being hurt. They're missing Hollywood Brown, who hasn't played. They're missing all of their running backs, including Isaiah Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So it is literally going to be Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Rashee Rice, and Xavier Worthy. Throw Juju Smith-Schuster in there. They should not be able to run the ball. Also, just got some news about this team. They are also benching their rookie left tackle and starting Wanya Morris. So now you have a new left tackle who hasn't played this season. You have no running back against this Falcons defense who has played pretty well. Jesse Bates, of course, has the interception against the Eagles that sealed it. Caden Ellis leads the team in tackles with 20 tackles, Bates with 18, of course. Justin Simmons, this is where you earn your money, big dog. You got the 1 year. You feel like you were underpaid, which we all believe so because you're one of the better safeties. You are the DB that has picked off Patrick Mahomes the most out of anybody in the league. This is where your expertise comes in. D. Alford, of course, we have to play sound defense. AJ Terrell is probably going to be on Rashee Rice most of the game. Xavier Worthy, we're going to have to figure out a way to blanket him and Travis Kelce. The best way to to stop this offense, slow it down. I don't know if you can stop greatness, but the best way to slow this offense down is with the pass rush. Grady Jarrett, Matthew Judon, they have to be able to put pressure on Mahomes in order for us to even have a chance. Because if he just sits back there, he's going to pick us apart. You have to blanket Travis Kelce. You're going to have to use Justin Simmons. You're going to have to use a combination of Justin Simmons, Richie Grant, that kept you on the team. You're normally not good against tight ends, running backs out of the backfield, but you're a pretty good tackler. You're a box safety. If we decide to go nickel or dime, you may end up playing as the big nickel, and we'll put Justin Simmons on Travis Kelce. But Richie Grant, you can't come in screwing up. You can't. We don't have any room for error. No margin for error against Patrick Mahomes. If there's any error in any coverage, any error in any scheme, Patrick Mahomes, Matt Nagy, and Andy Reid are going to scheme it up. The best way to disrupt him is Grady Jarrett, our defensive line, and Matthew Judon getting pressure, shrinking the pocket, and not allowing him to create. If you allow some of that Mahomes magic to happen, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I think Justin Simmons and Richie Grant can limit Travis Kelce. You got to get pressure on Mahomes, and you got to get off the field. Third down conversions, especially ones that are 3rd and 5 and longer, those are backbreakers. Those hurt. They take all of the air out of the stadium. This is going to be a night game in Atlanta. You know, a lot of people call us fair weather fans, but it doesn't matter because it's the night game on national TV, and we will be there. This has a chance for us to stay in the hunt for the NFC South. The Saints are tough. The Bucks are steady. We have to keep pace. So if the defense can get pressure, get off the field on 3rd down, got to get off the field on 3rd down. If they can get pressure, get off the field on 3rd down, we already can stop the run. We should be able to stop the run and make them one-dimensional. We have a chance. That's going to be difficult, but that's the way our defense has to win. We have to win the turnover battle. We cannot turn the ball over. Cause a fumble, strip sack fumble. Mahomes may get he's a gunslinger, so he may give you a chance, a couple opportunities to get an interception. You have to take advantage of those opportunities. There's not going to be many mistakes when it comes to the greats, but when they do happen, you have to take advantage if you want to win. Before we get to coaching, let's get to the offensive side of the ball. We have all of these toys on offense. We have Drake London. We have Kyle Pitts, who seems to finally be coming around in this scheme. We have Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. We have Ray McLeod, Darnell Mooney. We have Cardero Hodge. We have so many players. But it all comes down to, if you're looking over here, it all comes down to two people or two groups of people. Offensive line versus defensive line. Chris Jones, now that Aaron Donald is out of the league in terms of retirement, Chris Jones right now is probably the best defensive tackle in the league. You can throw others in there. There's Madubuike from Baltimore. There's other players that you could probably throw in there. Not Justin Simmons, but out of Tennessee. There's a lot of players that you could throw in, but Chris Jones is a dominating force when it comes to closing out games, when it comes to getting a big play on 3rd down to get the ball back into Mahomes. He is the Patrick Mahomes of the defense. That's why Chris Lindstrom, Matthew Bergeron, Dahlman, and our offensive line have to neutralize Chris Jones. If it doesn't happen, if we don't neutralize Chris Jones and he starts feasting, the rest of that defense, there's nothing we could do. That means the secondary then can just sit on routes because we don't have enough time to throw. The linebackers, Nick Bolton, who I have there, as well as Trent McDuffie, they can come in, play the run, play aggressive, and basically foil any type of game plan that you have. It all starts with Chris Jones and the offensive line. Secondly, we have to get the ball to Bijan. I have to be able to run the ball with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier is our power back. Tyler Algier is what you can either use him to soften up the defense or you can use him to bludgeon the defense after they're tired. He is our physical back. He averaged, I think, 8 yards a carry against the Eagles. I do believe that Bijan is our dynamic back. A lot of people want him as our number one running back, which is fine. But if you have to play both in order to win, you have to beat the Kansas City Chiefs front seven into submission. If you don't, it's going to be a long day. Everything happens off the run. Play action pass. Being able to stay ahead of the sticks. It limits them. It limits the offense of the Chiefs being on the field. It keeps their defense on the field, and you have to convert third downs. Kirk Cousins, you got to be efficient. All of these errant throws and all of that stuff can't happen against this defense. This secondary is one of the better secondaries in the league. Steve Spagnuolo has built this team in his image. They play sound defense in the back seven. They pressure, and they will blitz you. So the offensive line, you will have to protect Kirk Cousins and open up running lanes. If it doesn't happen, it's going to be a long day. Let's get to, finally, we talked about the offense. We talked about the defense. Let's get to coaching. You have to give the edge to the Kansas City Chiefs in coaching because they have Andy Reid, who's probably going down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest coach of all time. Bill Belichick, I think, has 6 rings, so it's going to be difficult for Andy Reid to win the ring discussion. But, I mean, he is cooking right now. His play calling has to be the best in the league. He listens to his players. There's going to be something wacky, a double reverse pass, shovel pass behind the back to Kelsey. Something is going to be something wacky because they have a lot of continuity. They played together all the time. You got to be disciplined. Matt Nagy, again, has worked with Andy Reid. He started out with Andy Reid in Kansas City. I guess he started out, but then he got his job in Chicago. Then he came back to Kansas City. And Steve Spagnuolo. Those 3 guys have this team schematically as one of the better teams in the league. We all don't really think that the Chiefs have the best talent outside of they're very top heavy. Outside of Mahomes, outside of Kelsey, outside of Chris Jones, Nick Bolton and Trent McDuffie, maybe. They have like a second team, first team or second team at every level on defense. Outside of that, you don't really know a lot of guys. You've turned Drew Tranquil into one of the better linebackers in the league, and he was a safety. He's a 6'2", 230-pound safety. And he's playing linebacker, modern NFL. But when you have such a light defense, you're susceptible to the run. If the Falcons' offensive coaches, especially Zach Robinson, can get the run going early, we saw a glimpse of what he can call in the fourth quarter, especially with the no huddle. The Falcons' offense has been the most efficient in the no huddle. In the, I don't want to call hurry up. It's like the 4-minute offense that the Patriots kind of used or invented the term of. So if we can establish the run, we put Steve Spagnuolo in a really, really, really difficult position. Jimmy Lake, good luck, bro. Jimmy Lake is our defensive coordinator. Matthew Judon and Grady Jarrett have had decent seasons starting over the first 2 games. They really have been, the defense has been the best unit on our team. But we also haven't had to go against, we went against Arthur Smith and lost 18-10. And then we went against Sirianni and the Eagles, who are kind of imploding. This team is not imploding. And you have to go against Andy Reid and Matt Nagy. Hopefully, Raheem Morris, you coached in the AFC the past couple years. You had to play. No, you were in the NFC. I'm sorry. Hopefully, Raheem Morris, you and Jimmy Lake can scheme up something. And the fact that the Chiefs just may run out of bodies. Like they're missing a lot of people. This is going to be an electric match, an electric game. I'm hoping the Falcons win. I'm going to push when it comes to special teams. Younghoe Koo and Harrison Butker, I think they're both, one's 4 for 5, one's 4 for 4 on the year. This may be, I look for the Falcons. The key for the Falcons to win this game is you have to slow the game down, run the ball, play action and limit the possessions of the Chiefs. If you can do those 4 things, run the ball, so to establish play action. So it's 3 things. Run the ball, establish play action, control the clock so that you limit possessions and convert on third down, that offense will be doing its job. Defense, if you can get off the field on third down, get pressure up the middle on Patrick Mahomes, and figure out a way to control Kelsey and not allow Mahomes to run around, and you can contain him in the pocket, you'll be on your way to at least to a competitive game, and you should have the inside track to a W. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Quick announcement, we'll be back Monday Night Raw. Outside of that, go Falcons. See y'all next week.